हेलो एवरीवन। इस वीडियो में हम इंग्लिश की फर्स्ट फ्लैट बुक का चैप्टर 4 रीड करेंगे जिसका नाम है फ्रॉम द डायरी ऑफ द एनिक फ्रेंड। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। Writing in a writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me, not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musing of the 13-year-old schoolgirl. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like written and I have an even greater need to get all kind of things off my chest. Paper has no paper has more pressings than paper. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bo- bored and listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. I finally stayed where I was boarding. Paper, yes, paper does have more practice, and since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stiff bagged notebook grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should never find a really friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. Let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world, and I am not. I have loving friends and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. I have a family, loving aunties, and good home. No, no, on the surface, I seem to have everything except my one true friends. All I think about when I am with friends, I having a good time. I cannot bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. Maybe it's my fault that we do not confide in each other. In any case, that's just how things are, and unfortunately they are not able to change. This is why I have started the diary to enhance the image of this along awaited friends. I in my imagination I do not want to jot down the fact in this diary the way most people would do, but I want the diary to be my friends, and I am going for the friends kitty. Since no one would understand a word of story or kitty if I were to plunge right in, I'd better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. My father, the most rebel father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12 June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father immigrated to Poland in 1933. My mother, Edith Holland, went with him to Poland in September, while Margaret and I were sent to Acme to stay with our grandmother. Margaret went to Holland in December and I followed in February. When I was flung down on the table as a birthday present for Margaret, I started right away at the Monsters Nursery School. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. In the sixth form of teacher was Mr. Kupres, the headmasteress, and at the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said the heartbreaking farewell. In the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation. So my birthday passed with little celebration. Grandma died in January 1942. No one knows who often I think of her and still love her. This birthday celebrated in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and Grandma Candle was lit along with the rest. The of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20 June 1942 and the solemn detection of my diary. Dearest Kitty, our entire class is quaking in its boots. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up the next form and who will be kept back. Half the class in making Belgian and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us, Ian and Jacques, who have stacked their entire holiday saving on their bit from morning to night. It's you are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. Even just spending glassing and my angry outburst cannot calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that out of about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. I am not so worried about my girlfriend and myself. We will make it. The only subject I am not sure about is math. Anyways, all we can do is wait until then. We keep telling each other not to lose heart. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. There are nine of them, seven men and two women. Mr. Kissing and old Foggy, who teaches maths, was annoyed with me for days because took I talked so much. After several wearing she he assigned me extra homework and essay on the subject. A chatterbox. What can you write about that? I did worry about the letter. I decided I jotted down the letter in my notebook, it in my bag, and tried to keep quiet. That evening, after I finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. I began thinking about the subject, will chewing the tip of my fountain pen. Anyone could ramble on and leave big space between the words, but the trick was to come up with convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. I thought, and suddenly I had an idea. I wrote the 3 pages Mr. Casey and assigned me and was satisfied. I argued that talking is an student territory and that I would do my best to keep under control, but that I would never be able to prove myself of the habit since my mother talking as much as I did, if not more, and that there's not much you can do about inherited territories. My Mr. Kessing had a good laugh at my arguments, and when I prod- products to talk my way through the next lesson. He assigned me a second essay. This time it was supposed to be on an engravable charity box. I handed it in. Mr. Casing had nothing to complain about for 2 whole lessons. However, during the third lesson, he he did finally had enough any friend and punishment as punishment for talking in class, write an essay in delay. Quickly, 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 said Mistress Checkbox. The class roared. I had to laugh too. Thought I did nearly excused my impunity on the topic of chatbox. It was time to come up with something else, something original. My friend Sane, who's good at pretty, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to the end in various, and I jumped for joy. Mr. Kissing was trying to play a joke on me with this ridiculous subject, but I did make sure the joke was on him. I finished my poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and the father swan with their babies ducklings who were bitten the death of by the fathers because they slaved too much. Luckily, Mr. Kissing took the joke the right way. He read the poem to the class, add, adding his own comments and several other classes as well. Since then, I have been allowed to talk, had have not been assigned any extra homework. On the contrary, Mr. Kissing always making jokes these days. Thank you.